Hey everybody, sorry for being late. I was finishing up an appointment within the house. Today we're going to talk about credit scores and how to work with your credit, get your credit back up. Now, full disclaimer, always make sure that you let me know where you're checking in from. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type it inside of the chat. Now, just so you know, I am not a finance manager or anything like that. This is not something like trying to push you towards any kind of businesses. But for background reasons, I do have a MBA in financial management, and I have been working on budgeting different companies and government agencies' budgets since 2014. So I'm really well versed when it comes to managing your money. And I've always been really good at it, even if, sometimes I'm not, but I'm really good at it, especially helping other people do it. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because it's that time of the year. It's tax season, and you have all of the tax preparers out there, but you also got a lot of the people out there talking about they can fix your credit for a fee. I just want to let you know, I have worked on my credit several times, and I've never used a company. I've done it all myself. Now, a lot of people are not very credit smart, and they don't know how to read their credit report, what their credit report is revolved around, or anything like that. So we're going to start there. So it's very important that you check your credit, especially if you're trying to build it. You need to get your credit report, and you can honestly get a free credit report from all the credit bureaus. And a lot of, if you have a credit card or a bank, which I hope everybody has a bank, you can sometimes they'll have some credit programs, and I forget how often you can pull your free credit report. I think it's like once every 3 months. I'm not sure because I use a program that I get my credit reports every 30 days. But you want to look at your credit report. Now, when you're looking at your credit report, you want to make sure that your information is correct. If you have an interesting spelling of a name, trust it's going to be wrong because people are going to write your name wrong in several different places. You want to verify the addresses, that they're all addresses that you actually live at. You want to verify all of the accounts, that the accounts are actually your accounts. And you want to make sure any accounts that should have fallen off have fell off. I did have an instance where I had at 2 separate times accounts that should have fallen off that the company did not fall off. And it was really just a simple phone call and I got it taken off. And I had one account where my card note back in the day was reported twice. And they were confused, but they got it fixed. And you want to make sure all of that is correct. Now, when you look at your credit report, it will show you your late, your 30, 90, 120 days. If you go more than 30 days late, that really impacts your credit score. If you do go 30 days late and you get yourself back in order quickly before the 60-day mark, some creditors will remove that late charge. Now, some may also remove that late if it's something that was out of your control. Like for instance, let's just use this for example. You bought a car, you gave the car back and everything, got a new car, and the paperwork wasn't done properly with the new dealership. So now they were still charging you for payments. Well, that's not your fault, so you could get that removed and get it disputed and everything, but let's talk about disputes. Everybody wants to dispute, and that's the thing to say, dispute, dispute, dispute. Understand that if you do dispute anything on your credit report and you haven't been getting any notifications for them, you haven't been paying them, and this is your account, once you dispute it, if they respond and say this is yours, they now have your active address and they will start contacting you. Don't dispute just to dispute. And I know there are a lot of reels and TikToks about, going out there and saying, oh, well, there was a breach, so that's not mine. But if this account was on there for years, that may not always work. You know what I mean? And then some people dispute to get things removed from their report. Understand that though they may jump your credit score for the moment, it actually hurts you because you no longer have that credit history. And that's literally how people look at you and see whether or not they will give you credit for anything, whether it's a car, a house, or an apartment. You need credit history, and a lot of people are just trying to delete a lot of things. Their credit history is gone. Now, I will say collections. If you can get collections removed, get them removed. If you can get medical stuff removed, get them removed. But anything that shows a credit history, you want to keep, because if you have something that you're disputing and you get it removed, but you had 8 years of credit history with them, that 8 years is now gone. So you don't want to just dispute to get rid of it. Now, what I was doing was I have a program, it's called myfico.com. And if you're watching this on the computer, just scan the QRC code, but it's literally myfico.com, and they're not paying me to do this or anything like that. I use them because during the process, I looked at several different companies, like, what is one of them called? Hold on, I gotta look at my phone because I can't remember the name of that company. Okay, so you always can use, like, Credit Karma is one of them. And that's now taken over by Intuit. The reason why people always got varying credit scores with Credit Karma is because they use Vantage, which is not what most other people use. They use the FICO scores, not Vantage. So your Vantage score may look great or may look horrible, but it's not the score people use. The reason why I use my FICO is because I can get all three bureaus, and it gives me my scores for my house, my car loan, and my credit cards. Now, when you're going out there and putting your credit out there, they look at those three things. They don't just look at your overall, they look at everything. So for instance, I'm going to tell you right now, mortgage is your FICO score is 5, 4, and 2. So when you're going for your mortgages, that's the score they look at. So your score could be 700, but your FICO mortgage scores could be 620, right? And that's the one that moves the slowest. The auto score is an 8, this FICO score 8. And credit cards is FICO score 8 as well as a bank card score 8. Now, to get your score to go up, pay your bills on time, paying your bills early, maintaining a low balance. The amount of balance, utilization of your credit cards and stuff like that, the higher the balance is, the worse it can be. Now, don't get me wrong. We all have times when our credit cards are going to go up. We're traveling. We got things we got to pay off, whatever. But you want to get them back down, right? What I was doing was, for me, I had to get my score from under 600, and I got it all the way to over 700 for FICO 8, the main score. What I was able to do was I just started paying things down. I paid down all my credit cards. I did get a collections removed by myself by working with the company. And then I just kept making payments. The only thing that really repairs your credit score is time. Time is the only thing that actually, my hair's all fuzzy, repairs it. It takes time. Also note that it can take some of these companies 30 to 60 and sometimes 90 days to accurately report to the different bureaus. So if you are trying to go for a mortgage, if you are trying to go for, well, actually it's a mortgage, because the cars you can't really do this. With mortgages, you can. You can show them that, yes, this was paid off, but it could take 30 to 60 days. Now, for those of you that are going out there and, you're getting things removed or whatever, we have to look at the underlying reason why your credit score is bad. I have somebody who kept telling me, oh, your credit score is good because you make a lot of money. No, you can make a lot of money and still have a bad credit score. It's all about money management. If you have a budget that you actually use, I want you to comment down below that, you have a budget, because having a budget is very important nowadays. You have to manage where your money is going. A lot of times people's credit gets messed up because they can't pay their bills on time because they're not managing their money and they're not managing when bills are due. I use my bank to pay majority of my bills, except for like 2 or 3, because it takes the company a very, very long time to cash the check. And I don't like it just sitting there. I like it to be done. So there are some bills I pay directly on my website, on their website, I should say. But my thing was basically, now one of the things I did do was, once my credit score started to go up and started to look better, I did ask for increases with my credit cards, because you got to look to your debt to income, your DTI, which is how much money you make versus how much debt you have. And if you have a lot of debt, but not a lot of income, it's going to make it look really bad. That's perfect. I'm so glad that you have one, because it's very important to have a budget that you use, right? Now, sometimes you don't know how to manage your budget. Now, for those that know me and I'm friends with, I'm always open to help you put your budget together. But a lot of it was just time. Now, yes, having more money coming in definitely does help. So if you are struggling with your bills, you are struggling to pay things on time in timely manners. And I'm not talking about your spending habits, because that might be an issue too if you have spending habit problems, but having a budget will definitely help you with that. You need to increase the income in your household. And it's not necessarily, I know some of you know me as an entrepreneur, but it's not about just having extra money just to say, oh, I made this money. It's to have this money to pay your bills down. I mean, think about it right now. And if you could share it if you want to, how much more money would you need to have coming in monthly to help you pay your bills? Easily. to the point where you're not scrambling for money. You're not, having to go to the grocery store and put items back because you can't afford it. You can't pay your bills timely, because I'm telling you, paying your bills on time and having that extra income really, really does help. And of course, having that budget. So that's basically all I really did was I budgeted. Even now I budget. I have my bank account right now is budgeted all the way until August with all the income that could be coming in. Now I have USAA, so they have a thing where I could do scheduled payments and I can like schedule what's coming out. Not actually schedule for the payments to go out, but schedule transactions, I should say. And I can put everything in there and it'll show me what my running balance is, where I'm going to be, and da 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 da, based off of what I think is going to happen. Now, we all know stuff happens, extra bills come in, but we also got to be prepared for that. And for some of you, I know that's hard, but that's something we have to look at. And having more income coming into your household will help your credit. Now, for some of you guys, you need to put your credit cards away. You need to take them out your wallet, put them in a drawer, put them up, because you're too quick to swipe. Too quick to swipe, and that's what's causing you to have issues. And some of you guys do that impulse buying, which can cause issues as well. Now, don't get me wrong, it's nice to get some new things here and there, but you got to really think about, is it worth it right now? For me, during this past year or so, there's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of things that I didn't do, a lot of trips I couldn't do, a lot of places I couldn't go, because I had to take care and get my credit score up, and I got to get everything done. And now that I bought the house, I'm in the process again of rebuilding my credit. And it's not to say my credit fell or anything like that, but that's generally what happens when you do any kind of move. You do got to put some things on credit cards because you got to hold all this money inside of your bank account for the different things you need for moving and houses and all that kind of stuff. But I'm in the process of rebuilding it now. You know what I mean? But I also very good money management, time management, and sacrifice when it comes to getting what I want. I have goals. So that's all I did. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, you really, really, really don't need people to fix your credit for you unless your credit is like really horrendous. But you really don't need nobody. A lot of stuff you can do on your own. And I literally can show people how to do it in a way that your credit score jumps for long term. When you get things removed and taken off your credit, it jumps your credit score for a short period of time. But if you don't continue to pay your bills on a timely manner and keep your debt to income ratio low, you're going to be right back in the same boat in the next year or so. So that was all I wanted to talk about today, because that was on my mind. If any of you guys have any questions, you can definitely send me a message and I'll answer some questions when it comes to your credit report. If this was something that was helpful, I would love for you to comment below that this was helpful. And even better, share this with other people who you think might benefit from hearing this information. Just go ahead and click the share button, share it to your timeline, tag other people who might be interested in hearing this. But that's basically it for you guys. Wherever you are, make sure that you are staying warm because it is cold